Hello and welcome to the July 13th Hemp Show powered by CannTrade. My name is Mark Restelli. I'm the CEO of CannTrade and the host of the Hemp Show. Joining us next on the Hemp Show, we have David Whittemore with PHARMA Hemp Extracts. PHARMA Hemp Extracts is a manufacturer of vape cartridges and disposables with a facility in Guangzhou, China. They own their entire supply chain and currently produce more than 2 million no-leak cartridges per month. PHARMA Hemp has an in-house terpene laboratory with over 100 strain formulas, and they have 2 Delta 8 brands, Lollipuff and Hemp Hippie. Thank you for joining us today, David. I know it was rough getting you here, but we're glad to have you.
Hey, how are you doing? So that's pretty good.
Doing excellent. So here's I'll start with a little interesting background here is I actually got one of my partial starts. First brand I ever created was a vape cartridge brand back in like 2012-ish. So I've actually been very familiar with vapes, vape cartridges, and back then everything leaked like crazy. You couldn't get anything that didn't leak. So, when I hear that you've got a vertically integrated vape cartridge and disposable facility in Guangzhou, China, that kind of makes my ears perk up. And especially producing 2 million no-leak cartridges per month. I mean, that's no joke. That's huge volume. So if you don't mind, tell us everything about what PHARMA Hemp Extracts does, what you produce, and how it works.
Okay. Let me tell you how we got into the business. Okay. Sure. We started off with cartridges, started selling them to clients. They were leaking. We were losing clients. So about 3.5 years ago, we formed our own company in China, our own factory. We have Roy with us, he's London educated, speaks Mandarin, born in Guangzhou. We recruited him about 9 years ago. He sourced for us for about 5.5 years. And then the opportunity came up where we needed a Chinese partner. So we moved him up the ladder from sourcing to actual partnership. So that we could actually form the company in China. And we started with about 50 employees producing carts. A lot of our business is in California. So we've been there at the beginning of the recreational usage. So then we started manufacturing our own carts. And today, right now, we produce about 2 million vape cartridges a month. And we just opened up our second location in China that focuses strictly on our disposable units. We own all of our own molds on all the packaging and all the devices. So that's what got us into the space. We support some brands. We've got companies that do 400,000 pieces a month with us. We're in the Oklahoma market right now, and obviously California market. And we decided that since we do all the different components ourselves, all in-house, that it made sense for us to just go ahead and create our own brand. So we created 2 brands at one time. We created Lollipuffs, which is a higher end brand designed to go into your convenience stores, your CBD stores, where Hemp Hippie was more designed with its logo and everything, is basically a pot leaf hemp leaf with the red eyes and a Rastafarian hat is designed strictly for your vapor stores, smoke shops of such. Okay. And it also works in independent convenience stores.
Okay. Very cool. So as far as the business as a whole, you've got the in-store brands with the Delta 8, but seems like the primary focus is just the hardware, right? And
no, actually, no. Everything feeds each other. Okay. Bottom line is our brand is set to grow because we already know what our production capabilities are right now. We own it, so it belongs to us. So if we need to dig into that production to scalability, it's already set in place. So brands is something we've always wanted to do. We just happen to come in from the bottom up. So we learned it from the bottom up. We're able to do private labels. At the meeting I was in right now was, yes, he's going to take Lollipuffs, but his main focus is to create his own brand. So we specialize in doing private label. So we don't care if we're the car, if we're the gas pump. Either way, we're going to be on the highway. So
Sure.
if that makes sense to you.
And when you do the private label, especially with the brand you created, so you have filling facilities as well. So you're bringing the
Absolutely. In California and here in Texas.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
And at those, for example, like the California facility, is that strictly non-California Bureau of Cannabis Control? So no THC, but Delta 8 and CBD?
No, in California, we do Delta 9.
Oh, so California, so you're
Okay.
licensed in California to produce in the medical cannabis market.
Our clients are that we contract with. So
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
get okay, cool.
yeah,
So no,
yeah. But we do in the space. We do the facilities and stuff. We have relationships with a lot of larger brands that people don't realize that we have the relationship with, or that we do manufacturing and we supply carts to. Okay, so we're familiar with Treetop, correct?
mhm,
We supply carts to Treetop.
okay.
You're familiar with Cake.
Yep.
We supply some packaging and devices to Cake. So we're out there in the industry. So we're somebody you can actually
Right.
build a brand on. Okay.
Well, one of my next questions was gonna be what kind of separates you from, others in the space, but in just hearing this, there's not too many of these larger brands that own their own manufacturing facilities,
That's
in Canada.
that's what separates us, and
Right.
we own our own terpenes lab. So we produce over 100 different strains. We keep about 26 of them in stock. That really what we focus on. They are botanical, so they're perfect for the Delta 8 space. So a lot of companies out there that are getting their Delta 8, Delta 10, THCO, um, and they go dirty on testing for 0.3 is because they may have clean liters on the Delta 8 side from an isolate, but then they put in a cannabis sativa L terpene, and then it registers over 0.3.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people make that mistake. You can start off clean and dirty it yourself just based on the terpenes. So it's really important in this space, especially because it is, call it what it is, it's luck, to be in the Delta 8 space. But like one of our products was pulled along with every other product in a smoke shop in North Carolina, and the only product that was returned was ours.
Oh, wow. The only one that was given back. So the
Was
only one
hemp
that
hippie, hemp
that tested
hippies.
clean.
Yeah, yeah. So our business, what we're looking for is, like I said, we want to be the gas pump. So even if it's naked carts that are filled, you do the packaging, supplies and all, that's fine with us. If you need a white label deal, we'll do that for you. If you need want to become a distributor of our products, we do that. But we're really an all-inclusive one-stop shop. Okay.
David, I wish we had met in 2012 because that's when I was building the vape brands and doing everything there. And man, time and time again, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for someone that could do it all. Now, question I want to check about here. You talked about it was about 3 years ago, right? That you that you went to China and set
No,
up the
that's
lab.
9 years ago.
Oh, that was 9 years ago. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh wow, so it was very close to when I was in the vape space. Can you talk about kind of the progression of the vape cartridges, some from 9 years ago to now? Because obviously back
Well,
then,
we actually got into China sourcing our own supplies on an Amazon business. Okay. Then when California, went legal, then we were asked, to source some carts. We put the carts online. All of a sudden, the carts took off. So that was our first spigot into the cannabis space. So everybody, our saying is, we sell the shit, you need to sell your shit. Okay, that's bottom line what we do. But we ended up in the space through the cartridges, and then all of a sudden we realized, well, they need terpenes. So then we spent the money, created our own lab, started sourcing all the raw products in order to create the terpenes. And then all of a sudden we went into packaging. So the progression, cannabis has thrown us into where we're at now. Obviously it was a desired interest, but it really happened by chance. And now we're here. and all the pieces are here. We run 6 cubic meters, 2 tons twice a week on DHL reserved. Okay, under the pack law, even on electronic devices where DHL, FedEx, UPS, and everything are not sending out electronic devices by air, we still are able to achieve getting those devices by air, and we do that twice a week.
Oh, wow. So you got an extremely fast turnaround, because obviously you throw it on a
Yeah.
ship, you're talking, what is it, like a month?
Yeah, it's 6 weeks now. Yeah,
Okay.
and you can't get containers right now. You can get ATL, which is less than a load, right? That's all you can get out of China right now. And we've been running 2 containers a month for the last, several years. But right now, after COVID, everybody's having to piggyback each other because all the containers came here and none of them went back to China during COVID.
Right, right. So, kind of going back again to a few, 9 years ago, talking more specifically about the progression of the vape cartridges, specifically the technology around the vape
Well,
cartridge.
I don't even know that 9 years ago that's really started. It's been about 9 years ago. It started off in the e-cigarettes. They weren't even designed for cannabis and distillate at that time. Okay,
Right.
they were.
They were
They started
plastic.
off in the e-cig market. They went from plastic tanks with wicks in them to the filaments inside. One thing about our cartridges, everybody's heard of C-cell. Our cartridges are D-cell. Okay, stands for diamond cell. All of our cartridges use a quartz heating element. Okay,
Oh, wow.
quartz does not absorb oil. Okay, ceramic still does absorb oil. So if you've ever smoked on a cart, and as you get toward the bottom of that cart, it tastes like it's burnt.
Oh,
It's
wow.
most likely because it has a quartz heating element, a ceramic heating element. So a quartz heating element's not going to absorb the oil, so you're going to get the same flavor and taste from start to the end of the cart.
Wow. Yeah. C cells, I mean, those took off, what, 3 or 4
Yeah.
years ago.
Yep.
They were
Yep.
everybody wanted ceramic
Yeah.
coils and they wanted glass
Yeah.
cartridges, no
Yeah.
wick.
We do all different tips, but Lollipuffs is a ceramic cart, okay, that we build with a quartz heating element, and our D cells are a quartz heating element. We measure every item that gets put together in China. We measure with a micron meter, okay, because and we use there's no hazardous metals in our carts. Okay, so you're not getting any lead in your cartridges and stuff. It costs a little bit more to do that, but you have to control your quality control in China. Okay, period. And we get probably 8 to 10% of the extra of the parts, because everything in China is an assembly plant. Nobody manufactures front to back. They manage each specific piece, and then they have to be put together in an assembly plant. So we remove about 8 to 10% of our inventory to be put together for carts before they're put together in carts. And we probably have, less than 1% leakage, if that.
Wow. That's
Okay.
excellent. I used to measure that back in the day, and I mean, it was
Yeah.
about like it was like 25-30% leakage rate with
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
early
You ruin,
cartridges.
you ruin your brand that way. If you
Oh,
get
yeah.
the,
You
you
get
get sticky
test
or
shops.
leaky, you're going to ruin your brand,
Yeah,
period.
because ultimately, I mean, as you already know, what happens is the shop sells it, the customer has a bad experience, they take that cartridge, they bring it right back to the shop because it leaked. And sometimes, I mean, there was many cases back in the day where it was user error, they left it in a hot car.
Yeah.
But there was other times when the cartridge would just like fall apart.
Yeah.
And for those that aren't familiar with the cartridge stuff, back when we're talking about when it was more of an e-cig cartridge, it wasn't really built for cannabis oil, cannabinoids. It was like, what was it? Cotton wick, plastic with a
Yeah.
coil, a vaporizer coil that was copper. And you're talking dangerous heavy metal type nonsense. And then that finally progressed to all plastic, no wick, ceramic, but you've taken it a step further and added the quartz coil, right?
Yeah.
So that I don't follow the space that much anymore, so I haven't heard of
Yeah.
those coils, but I'm definitely curious because I can for sure taste a
It's,
kind of
it's,
earthy
it's
flavor.
consistent in the flavoring and also in the disposables. We use UL certified batteries, 420 mAh. Okay, because a lot of people, they look at a cartridge and they think it's the same, but the guts are different. Okay, and if you don't have the proper batteries in there, you can't regulate the heat, so it's either going to be underpowered or or if it's overpowered, you're going to burn the terps in your distillate and you're not going to receive the effect of the product that you bought.
Right, right. Yeah, it has to. It all has to work together. It's got to be
It has to
the
work
right
together.
temperature.
So we'd rather spend more money on the actual device and the manufacturing of the device because there's your sustainability in your product.
Right. Totally.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so question here moving forward, as we start to kind of wrap up here, I mean, you've gone a long way in 9 years. You know, you talked us through the progression, how that led from
Yeah, but the cannabis space 3.5 years.
okay.
We've done all this in 3.5 years.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and I'm in California, so I'm very familiar
Yeah.
with the California
Yeah.
cannabis space, and I
Yeah.
previously had a manufacturing facility, so you know
Yeah.
that's where I got my start.
Mm.
Now, where does this go? What's next
For us,
for you? Yeah.
private labeling brands.
Okay. Bigger brands.
That's
Are
it.
you considering spreading out to different product lines, or is it specifically in the space of vapes?
No. We're in we're everything cannabis. Mylar bags, 0.5 mil jars, 0.7 mil jars, syringes, glass syringes, uh, liter jars, Pyrex
Okay.
jars.
And specifically, that was the packaging part, right? That we're
The
talking about
packaging
here.
part, yeah,
Okay. So yeah,
yeah.
that
We
was
do it. We do everything in the packaging, and uh, we do everything in the packaging, and on our distillates and everything that we source out of ISO 9001 labs. Okay, so if you know, that's global standardization. Um, we have Ackerman, which is a cannabis attorney firm, top 100 firm in the country that guides us through everything to make sure that our clients and ourselves are always in compliance with the Delta 8 laws because they're changing daily, right?
right, right.
But
Well,
we're moving across into all markets.
excellent.
It,
Well, I'm
it's
excited to get this out to our network because we've got a host of cannabis businesses and hemp businesses that need that, you know, base structure. They need that assistance. They don't know what they're doing with vapes. They need packaging all the time.
Yeah,
So this is very cool. And
yeah. We're going to do a 50,000 piece white label order front to back. Take us 3 weeks.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
killer.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we had the technical difficulties.
No. I just got back on. And a matter of fact, I'm going to get back in here and finish this conference that I'm having with my client.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Get back in there. Don't worry about us. Thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in
thank you.
David and PHARMA Hemp extracts, please add them to your network on CannTrade. You can also place orders and ask questions directly from the PHARMA Hemp extract store, post in the webinar chat, also in the CannTrade feed, and in the podcast and YouTube show notes. Once again, thank you, David. And I got to get out there and check out the facility soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.